Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co, and as we get closer to Gencon 2026, there's a video series I like to do where I take a look at the games from last year and see how they've held up over the past year. And I do this because Gencon, I mean all conventions, but Gencon more so than nearly any other, probably even more so than Essen I find, has so much hype attached to it. There's going to be 10 games to go ahead and buy at Gencon, 10 games to demo, the top 15 expansions. There's going to be videos from all your favorite content creators talking about the games upcoming, and yes, we will have some on the channel as well. It's a thing we do. I am excited, so sue me, I am excited. But the point of this video is to be the counter hype. Yes, I'm excited about all these upcoming games. Yes, myself and a lot of other content creators will have these hauls of all the things they got and they came back with. I do it every single year, but here's the games I came back from Gencon with and why. But then a year goes by, and let's see how those games hold up over time. How many of them actually lasted? How many of them were flash in the pans? How many of them were not good? How many of them were decent? And how many of them actually stuck around? And so last year, I came home with 54 games. And from those 54 games, I've broken them up into 3 different categories. The games I still haven't played yet, the games that I got rid of, and the games that are still here. Now, I will say, more are still here than I would have thought, although I think very few of them feel like must-haves. And I will go ahead and differentiate the must-haves from the they happen to still be here, and we'll see how time goes on. But let's start off with the 7 games from this 54, the 7 games that I haven't even played. Some of them I still want to, others I've given up on. The Sims is one that I didn't get tabled at all. The Sims was part of a gift package from, not gift package, what's it called? Lucky Duck Games ran a content creator event, and there's a little swag bag. That's what I'm looking for. A swag bag that creators came home with. And The Sims was in that, so it wasn't the game I signed up for per se, and at first I was planning on covering it, but then the more reviews flooded in, I think it's like a 5.4 on BGG right now, and I just didn't feel the pressure to cover that one, given that it wasn't the game I asked for, and it didn't seem to be super well received, at least by the gamer audience. This represents more of a collaboration with their Goliath, Goliath who took over Lucky Duck. And so more of a mass market title, but one that I didn't bother getting around to. We have A Place for All My Books, which I wanted to play. I read the rules for that in the first few, the first week or two after coming back from Gen Con. I read the rules for it, and I've been meaning to play with my daughter ever since because she's a big reader, and we were very excited to table it, and it just hasn't gotten tabled. For one reason or another, we haven't gotten around to it. I need to play it. I actually hope to play that one. There's 2 on this list that I hope to get tabled before this Gen Con. Maybe 3 if I can wrangle it, but I only have a few weeks, so we'll see what happens. But A Place for All My Books is definitely one that I want to get around to. Time Strike and Source, the combination of that, that's one where there's a little bit more story behind this one. Longer story short, I still plan on doing an unboxing around that. It's a whole long story. I haven't tabled that one for a reason, but it's still on the shelf waiting to be played. Then we have Board Quest Tales of Lyria. This is another one where I wasn't quite sure whether I wanted. I took this one on as a potential favorite because they might have upcoming stuff. So this one might still, I wasn't super interested in it, but I was willing to give it a go. They do have an upcoming campaign for it coming at some point, so I probably will get a table, but it hasn't been a high priority for me. And then the last 3 are heavier Euros, or medium to heavy Euros, that I do want to table. There's Kalimala from Alleycat, there's Tianaxia from Board and Dice, and Fortunes of Scoundrel Bay from Chili Fox Games, I believe. And all 3 of those, Fortunes of Scoundrel Bay, I read the rules for. Kalimala and Tianaxia, I have not yet, but they are both very much on my want-to-play list, and I hope to get to them. Kalimala in particular, I want to table in the next few weeks. Tianaxia, if I can. And Fortunes, I still want to get to, for whatever reason, even though that was actually higher on my interest list. I think I may have put it in my top 5 most interested last year. Just hasn't gotten tabled. Sometimes things just don't actually get tabled for one reason or another, and Fortunes is one that I wanted to, but I didn't get to. From there, we're going to dive into the 30 that left the collection. 30 games that I played. Some were better than others, some were forgettable, some were okay, some were good, but none of them stuck around. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on each of these because otherwise this video would be very, very long. But we have Ubibo, a hand dexterity game. It was cute. I just didn't feel like it's the kind of game I'm likely to break out, but always happy to play. Soda Jerk from Allplay and Chrissy. Oh, I forgot to do this part. This video is this channel is sponsored by Allplay. And this is a time relevant, let's do a Gen Con relevant thing. Allplay will be at Gen Con with a bunch of their newer releases, many of which I highly recommend. There's Enchanted Ivy, my favorite Allplay game of all time, I believe. I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure that's true. There's Mountain Goat's Legacy will be released at Gen Con, I think for the first time, so you can go ahead and get your hands on that. Jibber Jabber, which I think has been released at UKGE and Origins, if I'm not mistaken, but it's still going to be somewhat newer. anywhere. Jibber Jabble is a fantastic party game. And there's also Grunts. Grunts will be available as well. That's going to be a 2-player abstract strategy game that I thoroughly recommend. They will have a lot more titles, but those are just 4 of the titles you'll be able to find at the Gencon booth if you go, the all-play booth at Gencon 2026. Which brings us back to the games that left. 30 games over here. Yubibo, which we covered. Soda Jerk from All Play. That was a cute little game from Chris Yee from the Dice Tower. It's a decent game. Ultimately, though, my friends and I play it for how can we most screw each other, and so it's more of a game about the 9 points than it is about getting points. Cats and Boxes was more of a puzzle type experience. I just got in my cat at Gen Con, Calcifer, who you've seen on the channel. I picked him up on the way home from Gen Con, and so I was very excited for it, so I grabbed a Cats and Boxes game. It was terrible. It was terrible. I don't like it. Cats and Boxes is not good. I don't recommend it. It's gone. It's more of a puzzle, like kind of like Rush Hour, but it was on the list. We have the Sandcastle of Burgundy. I was pretty excited for this one. Ultimately, it fell flat. It has nothing like the Castle of Burgundy, which I guess I expected that, but it was a barely tolerable memory game that happens to have just enough ghosts of Castle of Burgundy to almost be insulting that it's in the same category. I'm being a little harsh on it, but I think there's great kids games that are based on, like, adult games, and then I think there are ones that are very, very much not great, and this was that. Gloomies, a pretty decent game. Gloomies, actually, I might have it on my kid's shelf, but I definitely don't have it in my collection. So I have to double check if I put it on my kid's shelf or not. But Gloomies is a solid game from Ravensburger, all about kind of planting and then harvesting flowers. A cute little puzzle. One of those games that falls in the category of it's good, but is it great? And it definitely wasn't great. My daughter enjoyed it, so it may have gone on the kid's shelf. I have to double check, but definitely not in my collection. Washed Ashore from Alley Cat was a solo puzzle that was fun enough to go through, but not one I would keep around. Enshrouded from oh my gosh, from Smirk and Dagger Games. Enshrouded was a game I was very much looking forward to. A 2-player abstract of kind of hidden movement and hidden goals. A very solid game. I really enjoyed it. Just the replayability wasn't there for me. A Wild Venture. A Wild Venture from, oh my gosh, what's it called? Pika Games. It was a fun little game of a 2-player adventuring game. A very challenging game. Lots of card combos. It was a very fun, very solid game that ultimately didn't fall into that level of a game that I felt the need to keep. Riftbound. Got some Riftbound demo decks from Gen Con. I didn't get to play them until PAX Unplugged, but at PAX Unplugged, I did get to play them. I thought Riftbound was excellent and a lot of fun, and I also don't have time for TCGs in my life. I am, as it is, I can't keep up with Lorcana, Star Wars Unlimited, Marvel Champions, all those things, so I liked Riftbound. I'm not going to get into it. Collect from Simon was a small little game that was fun enough. It's not one that I think is necessary though. It's a cute game of just various animals and then trying to utilize the animals' abilities to try to get points, crowns, or half crowns, whatever they are. But it's fine. It's a totally fine game at 3.5 out of 5. Not one I need to own. Horrified D&D. I actually played this one recently on the channel. If you've been watching the Solo Sundays, well, I played it a while ago. My Solo Sundays are usually in advance. Either way, but Horrified D&D is It's a fun version of Horrified. My favorite version of Horrified, though, is still going to be, what was the prior one? The Greek monsters. Then Timbertown from Alley Cat Games was a solid 2-player game. I actually held on to this for a while, but then ultimately it's that balance of I just can't keep everything. There's so many great games that are about how do you structure tiles together. Timbertown was very solid. My favorite part is it has an interesting mechanism as far as the tiles are slowly moving down the river, so there's a timing mechanism as far as getting the tiles you need. I very much enjoyed that one. I just can't keep all the tile laying games, and that one did go. Farmhand was a very interesting trick-taking game that I thought was very rewarding, or shedding game, trick-taking more. I don't even know which one it was, but it's a very interesting puzzle game of looking at the backs of cards. Thought it was very well done. It did have a scoring flaw that did hold it back for me. Happy Home was another one from Alley Cat Games. This one I didn't like quite as much. It was polyominoes. It was very light. There just wasn't a lot of depth to the experience. Tic Tac Trek was another Alley Cat game, and is a little bit of a Tic Tac game of just placing out various pieces. Not really Tic Tac Trek though. It was cute, but not necessarily a keeper. Fight 5 was from Chip Theory Games, and that was basically War. It was War, but with multiple players at the same time, with a little bit more choice because of that. So it was War with agency and more players, but ultimately it was War, not for me. Sweet Victory was another kind of Ravensburger, more of a puzzly game, but it is a competition puzzly game. It's all about reorganizing stacks. It's a logic puzzle of trying to look at the situation and then react to it as quickly as possible. It's cute, but not a keeper. The Mind Soulmates. I'm actually only getting rid of Mind Soulmates now, so if you'll see that in upcoming games leaving the collection videos, or maybe the most recent one, depending on which order videos go up in. But the Mind Soulmates was a very fun version of the Mind. Ultimately, I'd rather play the Mind. I was impressed with what the Mind Soulmates did. Like, I was impressed at how they're able to take the Mind and make it different and add this kind of seer element to it. But while I enjoyed it, I'd rather just play the Mind. The Four Doors was one from, oh my gosh, what's the name of the company? Happy Camper Games. The Four Doors was a design by Matt Leacock. It's a Pandemic-style game, a Forbidden Island-style game. Ultimately, I'd rather play Pandemic or Forbidden Island or any of the other games in that series. The Four Doors was a bit of a letdown for me. Peak Team Rangers from, oh my gosh, from, who's the publisher? Is it Matago? No, I don't remember. Peak Team Rangers, though. Very much enjoyed that one. My biggest problem with it was that once I played through all the sequence of missions, my group was less in a rush to play it. It was one of those games that I was more interested in playing than my group was, so it was a good enough game that ultimately left because of ability to get it tabled. Then we had 12 Rivers. 12 Rivers was one of the hyped up games of Gencon, is selling out every single day. I think the game is kind of okay. I think it was mostly relying on the hype of the marble mechanism. It's fine. It just wasn't a game that necessarily inspired so much as had great table presence. Minecraft Labyrinth was a Minecraft-themed version of Labyrinth, also from Ravensburger. I got it because my kids like Labyrinth and they like Minecraft, and even so, it still managed to let me down. It was basically pasted on theme and no real gameplay changes. There's nothing meaningful as far as the gameplay changes, and just like bad art on top of Labyrinth. It wasn't great. Then there was Beasts, not to be confused with Beast. Beasts is from Pandasaurus. It was a small little playing cards down game, trying to cooperatively try to get rid of your cards properly. My biggest issue with it is you kind of played it out till the end, and at the very end you won or lost. I didn't really feel like there was a lot. It felt like there was a lot of gameplay leading up to that final conclusion or not. Level 8 was a game that was it the Stitch version? I don't remember if I got the Stitch version or not. I did not like this one at all. There were some broken issues with it. The rules were incomplete. There were a lot of issues I had with it, but it was always going to be a small box, a more mass market approach game. Way Too Many Cats was one that I wanted to like. Speaking of games that have you trying to combine things for maximum scoring, Way Too Many Cats tried to give you that. If anything, it gave you too much of that, being a little too chaotic. Squirrel Away from Flat Out Games? No, not Flat Out Games. What's the other company? Studio Sagrada? Floodgate Games. Squirrel Away was a stealing and bluffing game of gathering various gems. As you squirrel them away, you're a squirrel in the game. That was very group dependent. I played it with some groups that were a ton of fun, and I played it with other groups that was a complete dud, and games like that I tend to be less likely to keep. There was Graft from IB Studios, which was a tend universe game, but one of drafting cards and then grafting in order to be able to basically create these sets that you're then going to ship away, trying to be mindful not to bust effectively and trying to be mindful to get the maximum scoring for your sets. It was fun, just wasn't necessarily a keeper. Pillars of Fate, I did think would be a keeper. It's a lane battling game. It's my favorite in the Fate series of games from IB Studios. I really liked it. Ultimately, I just have too many games that are better lane battlers that took its place, but it is a solid game. Studies in Sorcery from, oh my gosh, I can't remember the company, but Weird Giraffe Games, I want to say. Studies in Sorcery was fine. I don't remember a ton about it. I just remember not being super impressed by it. And then Kinfire Council, which I actually have not reviewed yet, but I will have a review coming forward soon. Kinfire Council was a good game that I don't feel the need to keep for a variety of reasons. Lots more to get into, which I will be doing in a review. That's 30 games that I did not keep, 7 that I have not played, and 17 that are here, some with caveats. The first with a very large caveat. Pinball Haunted House from Pandasaurus is a fun game that is half here because my kids enjoy it, and it's half here because my cats enjoy it. When I set it up and then have the little things that get knocked into the holes, my cats love doing so, they've been having a lot of fun with it. Honestly, I should set it up. It's been a while since I set it up. But Pinball Haunted House is basically a cat toy more so than it is a game. So if you are looking for a cat toy, highly recommend Pinball Haunted House. My cats love it. Then there's Twinkle Twinkle. Twinkle Twinkle from Allplay. That is another one that is still around. I do wonder if it has forever legs on it. Again, there's too many amazing tile laying games, but it has such a great table presence and accessibility. Like, the vibes are very, very fun, very easy to get into, very charming, great component presence. Ultimately, the gameplay is not as good as some of my favorite tile laying games, which is why it's been in this weird place for me where it's still here for now, but I could see it being in a future call. Waddle Waddle, another one that's still here. I think it's such a clever, such a clever mechanism as far as how you move around, trying to collect things in the game, very much trying to choose whether you get the thing now or you jump ahead for prime placement. It's so mean and so well done. It reminds me of Hey, That's My Fish in the cutesy way the game is, but in terms of how tactically mean it actually is. Santorini Pantheon Edition. This was an easy one to keep. It's basically the cooler version of Santorini. And I love Santorini. It's one of my first games I ever crowdfunded, and it's a game that's been in my collection ever since. I thoroughly enjoy it. I love Riddle of the Sphinx, and the Pantheon Edition is just a nicer version of the game, so that's an easy win. Panda Spin got an expansion. That's another easy one to hold on to. I like Panda Spin. The expansion is just more variants to each gameplay experience. There's Lorcana Palace Heist. I mentioned trading cards earlier. Lorcana Palace Heist is the cooperative version of Lorcana. It's the second cooperative game they have. They have a third one coming out shortly, but Palace Heist was definitely a step up from the first one. And if you are enjoying deck building Lorcana, but you want to go at it cooperatively instead of competitively, then I do recommend that one. Spirits of the Wild was a re-release. I don't remember the publisher behind it, but they basically re-released Spirits of the Wild with more content and at an incredibly accessible price point, $15, and like on the show floor, $15 for so much content in that game. It's a two-player kind of not really I cut you choose, but it's a two-player drafting game where you're drafting various kind of stones, so to speak, to score them optimally. Really enjoyed that one. There's 20 Strong Tanglewoods. 20 Strong is an excellent system. Tanglewoods was, I believe I got it at Gen Con. I may have gotten a few of the other sets as well, but I got the Tanglewood stuff at Gen Con last year. Got to many a play of most of them. I've done a few film gameplays of some of them. I have not done film gameplays of all. I probably should at some point. But 20 Strong is an excellent game system, and I like the Tanglewoods arguably the best. It's a complicated. There's a whole ranking system I have for each of the 20 Strong decks. One day I'll do a full ranking, but I need more of them out. Then we have Jungo. Jungo has become one of the most played games from Gen Con 2025. Jungo is one. I picked this up along with Four Doors, which I mentioned already, and Four Doors left, but Four Doors was actually one I was more excited for, and Jungo was like, I guess I'll try it, but like, you know, what will happen with it? And then along with Trio, it's become one of my kids' favorite games to pull out and play. Jungo has gotten so much playtime. It's also allowed me to introduce them to Scout and also Denup since then. There's a new one coming that I really enjoy called Melodies. That is also a new twist on that kind of format. But Jungo is excellent, and I've gotten so much table time with it. It's well worth every cent. The Hobbit, there and back again. This is another interesting one. Some Office Dog games, I really enjoy it, but I find that I played through the whole thing right away and had a lot of fun. But then it's not one that I've pulled out and played a lot since then. I've had a few sessions, maybe 1 or 2 sessions since then, but I haven't gone in to do the full arc again, as I kind of want to. Like, I like the game. It's a kind of Railroad Ink with the Hobbit theme, but with enough differences to make it stick around. So it's still here for now, but it is in a weird place. Like, will I pull this out, or will I just pull out Railroad Ink? I like the charm. I like the drafting. It's a very solid game. It's just one that hasn't gotten a lot of play after I fully played through the whole arc initially. Planet Unknown Superman. It's an expansion of Planet Unknown. It fits in the base game box. It's an easy one to hold on to. Logic and Lore. This has been a great one as well. Logic and Lore I've had so much fun with. This has become like a sleeper hit for me. I've enjoyed playing it so much. My daughter enjoys playing it so much. I've introduced it to a bunch of friends. It is such a good two-player deduction game as trying to figure out the sequence of asking the right questions faster than your opponent asks the right question. Tranquility of the Descent. This was a prototype, so I don't have it here now. Actually, I think I do have it here now. I think I actually do have it on a shelf somewhere on the other side over there. But Tranquility the Descent is the third version of Tranquility, and I do very much enjoy it. I think I still prefer the original Tranquility the most, but Tranquility the Descent is still an excellent version of it. Tag Team is another one. Picked this one up on a whim. I was like, I try to buy as few things as possible if I'm not as confident in them. And Tag Team was basically me, just like a few people had said they enjoyed it. I was like, fine, it's cheap enough. I'll go ahead and buy it. And Tag Team was one that I like a lot. I've played it a lot since then. It's a very challenging experience. It's basically an auto battler, but such a clever auto battler. Highly recommended. I'm excited for the new characters that I have not gotten yet, but I will be grabbing when I have a chance. Time to Panic. I would not have thought this would be the one that stuck around. From the IV small box games, I thought Pillars of Fate would be the one that sticks around. Time to Panic so far has stuck around. I do not think it's a forever game. It's falling into the same zone as games like Tranquility, games like, The Mind. But for right now, it has managed to persevere, and we'll see how long it lasts. 4 Shuffle Dartmoor, one of the most excited games that I was for in Gen Con. I'm very excited for the new one. There's a new 4 Shuffle already announced, and I'll take anything 4 Shuffle. I like it all. I just came back from UKGE with the new expansion to Dartmoor. Have already played it. I don't know if I reviewed it. I don't think I've reviewed it yet. I probably should do that. But 4 Shuffle Dartmoor is excellent. I really enjoy it, and I think in the past year, I've played Dartmoor more than original 4 Shuffle, but both have a, I don't want to say permanent because nothing's permanent, but permanent spot in my collection. And then lastly, the Arnak Adventure Chest. Another easy win, because this is like, you know, it's the Arnak Adventure Chest with the new maps, the new boards, the new storage, all those things. I love Arnak, and I think this is a great complement to the system. Not a perfect complement. I had some complaints about the quality of the insert, but the functionality of the insert is great, and the new boards are great. So overall, I really enjoy Arnak over here. That is basically all the stuff. That's the recap from Gen Con 2025. So, what's the kind of summary? 7 games I haven't played yet. We'll let you know as I play them. 30 games have left. Didn't feel the need to keep them. 17 games have stuck around, and from those 17, here's I should grab a pen. I don't have a pen on me. No pen on me. So from those 17, let's talk about the ones that I think are the most worthwhile. First of all, Santorini Pantheon Edition and Arnak Adventure Chest are easy wins over there, as well as those are pretty solid, but also they're like kind of upgrades, so to speak, for games I already had. So nothing new as far as like the Gen Con hype, so to speak. From the rest over here, 20 Strong Tanglewoods, again, another iteration of a system I already have. Jungo was definitely a hit for me, no question there. The Hobbit there and back again, despite me not playing it as much, that was a solid one that I definitely am happy I picked up. Logic and Lore, another one that I'm very happy about, and Tag Team, and Force Shuffle Dartmoor, which is another iteration of an existing system. So if I'm ignoring iterations of an existing system, because I think I have 4 of those in here. So we have, let's go through again. We have Santorini, we have 20 Strong, we have Force Shuffle Dartmoor, and Arnak Adventure Chest. So from the 17, 4 of them are, I highly recommend them, but they're iterations of an existing system. And then from the others, Logic and Lore, Tag Team, The Hobbit There and Back Again, and Jungo are the 4 that I feel are must-haves. So 8 of the 17 are kind of must-haves. Even that, half are, existing stuff that just have new versions. And the other 9 plus 8, 17, the other 9 aren't necessarily must-haves. I don't know where they, like right now, going through them. Pinball Haunted House, my kids like it, but my cats like it more. It's a cat toy. Twinkle Twinkle, I'm uncertain of the longevity. Waddle Waddle is great. I don't think it's a must-have. Panda Spin Expansion, I mean, it's an expansion. I like it, but I do like Panda Spin Expansion. I do. You can throw that in the must-have camp, I guess, so to speak. But again, it's an expansion. It's more content of an existing system. Lorcana Palace Heist, I don't play Lorcana as much as I have way too much Lorcana. I don't play it as much as I have. And I like it, but Lorcana's not my favorite game system. Spirits of the Wild is great. I was partially getting this out of nostalgia from the original. It is good to have, but if I got rid of it, it would not be the end of the world. Planet Unknown Supermoon, that's an expansion that I could put in the Mist camp. If I didn't get it, I'd be fine. Tranquility Descent, I do like it, but I like the original Tranquility more. And then Time to Panic, again, I'm not sure of the longevity on. So like that kind of gives you a sampling. From the 54 games, I kind of have 8, maybe 9 if we include Panda Spin Expansion, that are really kind of like the ones I'm really happy to own at the end of it all. 1/6 of the full amount. Anyways, that is your Gen Con 2025 recap, how things have fared over the past 11-ish months. It's 11-ish months because I'm filming this at the beginning of July, so like I technically still have another month to be able to play the Gen Con titles, which I do hope to get to at least 2 of my haven't plays in that next month, so we will see how things fare. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.